Nietzsche's cognitive psychology, language, thought, and the illusion of consciousness. The psychology of language, how words shape reality. Nietzsche, trained as a philologist before he became a philosopher, placed language at the very center of his psychology. Without language, conscious thought, communication, and interpretation would not be possible. It is the foundation of society, science, and culture. And yet, Nietzsche exposes language as a deeply flawed system that distorts reality rather than reveals it. Language, he argues, was born out of necessity. Our ancestors, living in a hostile world filled with danger, needed to communicate threats, coordinate actions, and ensure survival. But language is not a perfect tool. It simplifies, categorizes, and imposes order on a world that is inherently chaotic. Example, the limitations of words. Imagine you see a tree. What does the word tree actually capture? It does not convey the unique shape, texture, or movement of its leaves in the wind. Instead, it reduces a vast, shifting reality into a static concept. Language does not reflect the richness of existence, it simplifies it. Nietzsche emphasizes that words are metaphors, arbitrary symbols we impose on experience. Over time, these metaphors solidify into rigid concepts, which we mistake for truth. What then is truth? A mobile army of metaphors, metonymies, anthropomorphisms. On truth and lies in a non-moral sense. 1. Thus, language does not reveal the essence of things. It creates an illusion of clarity where there is none. The evolution of language. From metaphor to concept. Nietzsche describes the evolution of language as a process of abstraction, immediate perception. At first, we experience the world directly, through sensations. Metaphor formation. We create images and metaphors to describe our experiences. Concept creation. Over time, repeated metaphors are formalized into fixed concepts. Example, fire as a concept. A child touches a flame and feels pain. The first time, this is a raw experience. But once the child hears the word fire, the experience becomes associated with a concept. Over time, the word replaces direct experience. The child no longer needs to touch fire to know it burns. While this ability is crucial for survival, Nietzsche warns that it also leads to false certainty. We mistake words for reality, forgetting that they are merely human inventions. We believe that we know something about the things themselves when we speak of trees, colors, snow, and flowers, and yet we possess nothing but metaphors for things. On truth and lies in a non-moral sense. 1. The psychological function of language, creating a stable world. Nietzsche argues that human beings have a fundamental drive to impose order on chaos. This urge manifests in our use of language to create stable, structured meanings. Example, the illusion of fixed categories. Consider how we divide people into personality types. Introvert versus extrovert, good versus evil, rational versus emotional. These categories help us navigate the world, but they are artificial. No person is purely introverted or extroverted. These are simplified labels we impose to make sense of complex human behavior. Nietzsche sees this process as an essential survival strategy, but also a major obstacle to deeper understanding. We cling to concepts for security rather than embracing the fluid, ever-changing nature of reality. To impose upon chaos as much regularity and form as our practical needs require. That is the function of the intellect. The will to power, 3:521. Language, truth, and power. Because words shape perception, those who control language control reality. Nietzsche sees truth not as a discovery, but as a creation, a construction of language that serves human purposes. Example, moral language as a tool of control. Nietzsche's genealogy of morality explores how moral concepts like good and evil are not objective truths, but inventions of language used to manipulate human behavior. The ruling class once defined good as noble, powerful, and strong. But later, the weak redefined morality, making qualities like humility, obedience, and suffering into virtues. In other words, morality itself is a linguistic creation. one that serves the interests of those who define it. The most universal sign of the modern age, man has lost dignity in his own eyes to an incredible extent. For a long time, he was the greatest miracle. He gave himself a final value system that placed him at the top, but now he has descended into relativity. The will to power, 584. Nietzsche's lesson. Language is never neutral. It always serves a will to power. The illusion of consciousness. Why most thinking is unconscious. Nietzsche challenges the traditional view that consciousness is the essence of the human mind. He argues instead that most of our thoughts, decisions, and actions happen unconsciously. Consciousness is not in control. It is a tool for survival, not for truth. Behind your thoughts and feelings, my brother, there stands a mighty ruler, an unknown sage, whose name is self. In your body he dwells. He is your body. Thus spoke Zarathustra, I, the despisers of the body. This means that consciousness is not a free, rational entity. It is merely the surface layer of the mind, shaped by deeper biological drives. Example, the illusion of free thought. We often believe we consciously choose our beliefs, but Nietzsche suggests that our opinions are largely determined by instincts, emotions, and inherited cultural assumptions. Consider a person raised in a deeply religious environment. They may believe they freely chose their faith, but in reality, their upbringing, language, and environment heavily influenced that decision. It is not the strength of a thought, but its lasting impression that makes it dominant. How frequently it is repeated, how early it was learned. The Will to Power, 257. Nietzsche's cognitive psychology and modern science. Though Nietzsche was not a neuroscientist, his insights anticipate many findings in modern psychology. Cognitive science. Studies show that much of our thinking is unconscious, and that decisions are often made before we are even aware of them. Linguistic relativity. Research in psycholinguistics supports Nietzsche's idea that language shapes perception, e.g., different cultures perceive color, time, and space differently based on their language. Social psychology. Nietzsche's claim that morality is socially constructed aligns with modern research on how beliefs are shaped by environment and group identity. Final thought, can we escape language? If Nietzsche is right, then we are trapped in language. It both enables and limits our understanding. The question remains, can we break free from the prison of language? Or must we accept that all thinking is an illusion we can never escape? Nietzsche's answer is radical. There is no pure truth, only interpretations shaped by human needs. There is no pure thinking, only thoughts shaped by instinct and power. If we want to master our minds, we must first become aware of the linguistic illusions that control us. What do you think? Can we ever escape the limitations of language, or is everything we think just another metaphor? Drop your thoughts in the comments.